And we're live. Oh, damn it. I had to stop there to turn on my cellular data because I was traveling last week and I didn't want to be inadvertently using up data, because sometimes I can be on a Wi-Fi connection and then all of a sudden I say, hey, well, I'm gonna leave here now, and then I end up finding out that I'm just sucking down juice that I didn't intend to. Anyways, I'm not sure if you can see the windows, but they're all foggy. Yeah, about this Gilets Jaunes. So this is my intention. Tomorrow I'm going to spend time commiserating with what's going on in France, and hopefully everyone stays safe and nobody gets killed. And the power of the people can play a role in our playing a role in our future. I'm really fed up with fractional reserve banking. I'm of the impression that the entire system is just basically one big fraud, and if you're not part of the fraud, if you're not getting away with the fraud, then you're getting fleeced by the fraud. And the fraud, and how we're getting fleeced is basically we're putting in our labor, time, and effort, and what we get in return are coupons that we can use at the company store. And the company store knows exactly how many coupons are out in the economy, and they know the buying habits of everybody, so they can selectively charge whatever the fuck they want, and that's causing us grief, right? So you're not going to see much here. Kapuskasing's a French town in Canada, and I speak English because it's not my default language. I can speak French just as well as English, but my point is that I know a lot more words in English, even though I was raised in French. But watching the Gilets Jaunes on Saturdays is really helping my French, obviously. And man, I love France. I don't love France necessarily because I'm French, but I love France for its spirit. I've got to kind of look down because I didn't spend much time. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning here, Kapuskasing, Ontario, and I'm on my way to the grocery store, which is like less than 2 kilometers away, but I'm not walking there if I own a car. And this tactic of taking all your money out of the bank, that's going to be a pretty interesting thing. I think we should go one step further and stop paying our bills, but we've got our credit scores to consider. So unless you've got a really bad credit score to begin with, not paying your bills is going to hurt you. They'll just charge you more for interest, and you won't be able to get a credit card. And one thing I've noticed, these sneaky cocksuckers, the credit card companies and the bank and student loan people. I got a student loan because I pay it off every month, and I'm happy to do it. But the point being is I got this email and there were people in it, and not people in the video. It wasn't a video. It was like a what do you call stock footage, and they always use stock footage of people that are probably not in financial straits, right? It's just like when you're watching TV and they're talking about bankruptcy trustees, and there's always somebody, a really attractive woman with a nice home, and she can't make her bills, and she's rubbing her head. Oh no, how am I going to pay my bills? I better call this consolidation company. Well, the consolidation company is owned by the bank, and guess what? They're gonna put you're gonna clamp down on you the moment that you express any financial suffering. So that's not the way to go. See, we're tied into these banks, and it's one big fraud. And we all know who's at the top of it, but you can't speak their name, obviously, because what are you going to do? You're going to get ostracized by people who haven't been woken yet, because the people who haven't woken up yet, they're part of the problem. They're actually in on it, right? Because they're getting the do-nothing jobs. They get the contracts. Oops, I can't do that. They get the contracts for the constructions of the roads, and then when they can't afford to fix the roads anymore, the contractor comes in and he says, "Oh, well, guess what I can do for you? I'll buy the highway and I'll rent it back to you." It's one big scam, man. But at the end of it all, it's all our labor. Which, you know, if you have a do-nothing job, I mean, you don't give a shit, right? Do-nothing job that pays well, I mean, you only live once. But when I work, man, I get pushed so hard when I work, because I work on construction. They do not give me a fucking moment to breathe. I don't mind, though. I'm usually down 10 pounds the first week of work. I'm hoping to get some work soon. But to my way of thinking, there's nothing happening in January. And I can prove that by, because the way I find work is I kind of like, I call the hall for one, and then I kind of take a tour of the local hotels at night so I can see who the contractors are, and then I can call the hall and say, "Hey, who are the contractors in town and what are they doing?" And then I haven't done it so far because I haven't had to, but I could always ingratiate myself to people who are here from out of town and say, "Hey, man, this is what I can do. This is, you know, I'm a good worker. I show up on time, sober. I do the work. You know, I'm a worry-free employee. But I like working. I don't want to have a job. That's the last thing I want is a job. Good grief. And then you show up for work, and then they just, you know, they burn you out. Not necessarily burn you out in the physical sense, but I mean, you've got to be there every day. No, I can't travel. And I want to travel, not necessarily because I love traveling, because I hate traveling, but I want to go visit my daughters. Anyways, I'm at the grocery store now, and I'm not going to take you into the grocery store this time around. But I want to get myself a nicer camera. I might be buying a camera today. Who knows? You know, feeding the beast. But what the fuck? These are utilities. Anyways, that's it for now. Bye.